Here's a short video showing you how I perform a protection detail. And before you comment below, yes, I have told my client to remove his winter wheels and put his original Golf R wheels back on. Firstly, I start by thoroughly rinsing the wheels and the arches to remove as much dirt and brake dust as possible. Now on to washing the car. As always, I start from the top of the vehicle and work my way down, as shown in my Now onto the inside of the car. Firstly, I start by cleaning the steering wheel. Using a mild leather cleaner and a detailing brush, I gently agitate the products into the leather. After this, I wipe any leftover products with a damp microfiber towel.